My number one, I think he is the biggest villain in Bachelor history.
Today, we're going to be ranking our top 5 favorite Bachelor villains in honor of the new season of The Bachelorette coming out this week. There is already a list over at ranker.com where people have voted on who their favorite Bachelor villains are. So throughout this episode, we're going to be comparing our lists with the general public. Mikaela, who is your number 5 Bachelor villain?
So my number 5 was Ranker's number 6, which is Juan Pablo. So I think it's just obvious looking at him. It's like, he's just kind of an entitled. I think he was the first wrench in the show where it's like, he just did not go according to plan. And I think he just had that there where he walked in and he's like, no one is good enough for me here. That grinded my gears. He's a villain in my book.
Is that how you see it? Okay.
There was one guy who said, she's not even half as hot as my ex-girlfriend.
I think so, yeah.
Was that him?
I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure, yes.
Well, regardless, he was that type of guy.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
JP's a great one. He's not on my list, but he's a great one. Okay, so my number 5 was actually Ranker.com's number 18, Kailyn McMahon.
Okay.
Now, he was on season 8. He was like a really rich guy who like claimed himself to be like a gold digger. Like he wanted a woman who could buy him a helicopter. Also, the reason he got kicked off is he referred to Emily's 7-year-old daughter as baggage.
I see a post, a picture of a baggage claim. Thought for sure I'd see Emily Maynard here.
For the contestant to refer to the person that they're trying to win over's kid as baggage, I think is one of the funniest f***ups you could ever do on The Bachelor. He's my number 5.
My number 4 is actually in a more recent season, the Tayshia slash Claire season 18 Bachelorette.
Yes.
Bennett.
Yes.
Bennett is just incredible because you want to believe that he was like a plant, but we know people who act like this.
We know some people like this.
He won't stop bringing up the fact he went to Harvard, but no better toxic masculinity move has there ever been than for him to gift a emotional intelligence book to another contestant that he's beefing with.
Can you be a bigger ass than when you quote a like self-help book that you read consistently? He keeps saying there are 4 types of emotional intelligence.
You are deficient in 3 of those 4.
It's like, are you a therapist? God, that guy was so great.
Yeah, first when I saw him, I was like, okay, Mr. Clark Kent, he's got the looks. Like, why is he an insecure man?
When you look like that, and he was older, and he was Harvard educated, that's why the older ones,
yeah.
It's always kind of like, why are they single?
Yeah, what's wrong?
So my number 4 is Ranker.com's number 11. She was on season 14 of The Bachelor. Rosalind Papa. This is a quick one because she really wasn't a villain except for the fact that she slept with the producer. She had like an affair with one of the producers who was then fired, leading to one of the best, most awkward scenes ever in Bachelor history where Chris Harrison had to go confront her on the show and being like, are you f***ing Derek?
You entered into an inappropriate relationship with one of our staffers.
like he was like, everybody behind the scenes like knew the guy. I just thought that was so funny and good for her. Honestly, I don't really think of her as a villain. I just love that story.
I think it's a funny thing. It's like you know what she came for? Love. And she found it in another place.
Yeah.
My number 3 is from Hannah B's season of Bachelorette, Luke P. It was like, oh, he's like he's a nice Christian boy and he's going for that. And then he hits you with the, I'm a born again virgin. First of all, he was really pushy the entire season. He was like, I'm going to win.
You are not gonna mess it up.
And then towards the end, after all of his drama he created, he shames her.
Yes.
And I think that was one of the greatest like women empowerment moments where she was like, F you, I'm the Bachelorette.
I have had sex.
Say what?
Jesus still loves me.
You know, good for you, Hannah B.
Okay, so my number 3 was Ranker.com's number 4, Wes Hayden. The best part about him was he was a pretty normal guy and a guy that people, were rooting for until he was eliminated. He made it all the way to the final 4. He was like a retroactive villain because after he's eliminated, he goes and gets in the limo and just immediately starts talking about how he duped everybody and he actually has a girlfriend back home. Why say that? Now people hate you.
You could have left and you could have been like...
He could have been the Bachelor.
Because that was early enough where it was like, no one on social media would have caught that really.
No.
It wouldn't have been a scandal.
Just a reminder to the people on The Bachelor, you're always being filmed.
So my number 2 is from season 25 of The Bachelor, Queen Victoria.
Oh my God.
It became a point where it's like, she's an obvious plant. She was dressing just odd enough. She's kind of dressed like the ugly stepsisters, with like these giant puffy sleeves. Things don't fit right.
She always had her bra strap showing?
Yeah, it was very bizarre. And so it's like, okay, there's something kind of going on. But you know what? Overall, I think she made the entire season incredibly watchable.
The queen has arrived, bitches.
I think what was great about her, because she wasn't a threat really at any point, I think that the other women started to like actually kind of like her and enjoy her. She was so great.
She's incredible.
Okay, so my number 2 was actually Ranker.com's number 1, Corinne.
Okay.
So she was sort of the opposite of Victoria in a way where it was like, she was a threat to the other contestants.
I'm starting to get the vibe that girls are having an issue with me. I see you. I see you.
Best of all, she from the start was like, I'm gonna win this goddamn competition, and took every chance she could to just get completely naked, to just go up and just make out with Nick. And so all the other women were like, F her. But at the same time too, it's like, dude, she came here to win. She did not come here to make friends.
My number 1. In my book, I think he is the biggest villain in Bachelor history. Peter the Pilot.
God, yeah.
He really ruined, I think, the integrity of the show, because after him is where like seasons started like going to shit. They're trying to throw in twists, like it got weird. It all stemmed from him just being awful. He played like 3 girls. So he didn't end up with the girl he chose, and then he went with the other one, broke up with her, and then he dated someone else from the show, and it was just like, dude, what? But then just to sprinkle it off with his mother Barb.
Oh yeah.
What was that?
It's not gonna work. He's gonna have to fail to succeed.
I don't know if he like will ever get married. Put it this way, all of the respect that I gained for pilots after Sully landed that plane in the Hudson.
This is the captain. Brace for impact.
I lost it because of Pete the Pilot. So my number 1 is Ranker.com's number 3, Chad Johnson.
Okay.
He's the funniest reality television character, in my opinion, of all time. He was so clearly on steroids, it was hysterical.
Yeah.
When they're getting used to the house, he realizes that there's not a gym, and he kind of like loses his mind. He looks like a guy who just took a bunch of pre-workout, and
is like, what do I do?
What? My body's gonna explode.
Door walked into the way of my hand. If I can't lift weights, I'm gonna murder someone.
He has one of my favorite lines ever in Bachelor, and I think it's actually like a really good point, which is, stop acting like you love her. Like, you only met her like 3 days ago.
You can't be in love with her. Like, if you are, that's weird.
Which is the best thing you can ever say in The Bachelor, because everybody watching, there is a part in the back of your head that's like, what do you mean you've fallen in love with her? But to really enjoy The Bachelor, you have to love the villains. And you also have to suspend reality a little bit.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
you just have to embrace the ridiculousness.
And you know
of the
what?
show.
We appreciate the villains.
Yes. I want inner turmoil. I want talking. That's why I'm watching The Bachelor. All right, guys, so those were our top 5. Let us know who your top 5 are in the comments, or better yet, get over to that list on Ranker, give it some votes, move your favorites to the top, and of course, as always, let us know in the comments which one of us had the best list, or
who's on top.
Who is on the top is Chad. He always will be. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.